What is up, people? Oh my god. Smithers are here today to give you Kamisama no Inai Nichiyoubi episode 6 motherfucking review. Oh my, this shit, it doesn't fucking stop. Oh my god. It looks like I was right. It's doing like 3 episodes in arc, apparently. Like, if you want to put it like that. Oh my god. This episode, we found out that the princess, Eula, she is the god of death. Everything she looks at, touches, or talks to dies, like anybody. Oh my god, hold on, wait 1 minute. I thought I saw something really weird in the ending. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Okay, what the fuck? This is kind of gonna be like weird and shit. It's like, why are there so many people that we're meeting in the story that were born in the time when people were infertile? It's like there's there's Eula, and then there's her sister. It's like, wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to my best ability to review this. This episode, it was good. Wow. What happened in this episode, simply put, is, well, let's just this second episode, bro. It was deep and emotional, and it was wow. Okay, the princess, like I said before, anybody that she looks at, talks to, or touches will instantly die, because she is the bringer of death. She's like the idol, yeah, the fucking idol of death. And then Ai looks when she finally gets to the Coliseum where all the living were taken, and she sees her, and she like disrobes her, like the things around her body, and her eyes are finally open, and you know the thing, like the fucking wrapping around her mouth is gone too. And then she looks at them, and they all, this like black shit is expelling from them, and then they all fall down, and then they get back up, and they're all excited and happy because they're finally free, in a sense. They're no longer living, they're dead. And the thing about it is that the princess looks up in the corner, and then immediately, right before she like can see Ai, in comes that motherfucker, and he saves her. Pulls her out the way, and you just see this black thing almost kill her. Like, it's like literally like this black little essence that leaves the body or comes from the eyes to kill people. And it was, and then in came Kikoro. In came K. That dude came in, and he's basically there. But before he came in, there was a dude who's wearing the mask, and he's like, "This is the dark side of Ortis." And it's like, why didn't you warn me? And he basically explains that there's a rule here, which is that people who are under 15 are exempt to have to die to live in the society. But once you turn 15 and are in the society, then you either have to leave or die. And he was saying that his dream was always to be a mask maker, and so he chose to stay here. And he died. And he said it was like an amazing feeling of bliss, and it wasn't painful at all. And he said that I shouldn't have to go through that, because she wasn't raised here. She wasn't born here. she shouldn't accidentally be forced to stay here, and shit like that. And then, wow, in comes Kokoro, and then it's basically like a back and forth between him and I about, you're lying to her, aren't you? There's no way that she knows that this is who she actually is. And Kokoro basically says, I love her, and I want to keep her in this dream as long as possible, because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want her to have to go through those feelings and hate. And then basically I's like, but you don't have the right to choose that for her. How do you think she would feel growing old, noticing that nobody else around her is aged at all? And it was just so deep. And basically, she's going to tell her, Kokoro, he's like, she'll hate you. Didn't you hate your father, who disrupted your image of peace of mind and not knowing what the real world was like? Didn't you hate the person that freed you from your ignorance? She got a ride. She went there to talk to the princess, and she laid it down. You're the idol of death. Everybody around you's been lying to you. And she says, I partly knew. She already knew that she had a feeling that people were lying to her. But she didn't really want to know why. She knew that they were lying to her, and she knew that there was something special about her body. And when she finally realized that she was the idol of death, she accepted it. She realized it. I'm kind of pissed off, though, that I didn't throw in, he did it because he loves you. If she would have said that, it would have been done. I would have been like, oh my god, where our mind's blown, but she didn't say it. Then in comes Kay, of course, and he's like, do you hate me now? You must hate me. I've been lying to you this entire time. And we basically figure out, with a couple of flashbacks beforehand, what he means by that, and basically his job was to teach her and to conceal her eyes, to not have her notice that everybody around her is not aging, that she's the only one aging. His job was to deceive her, and he knew that the second that he saw her as a little girl, which is kind of weird, and kind of, pedo-berry, kind of, I don't know, fuck it. He said he just wanted to protect her, and after a while, he just grew to love her. And I liked it. And then she's basically accepting it, and she knows now, and she isn't mad at him. And then she basically breaks it out. I wish that I could just see you, I wish that I could touch you. We're friends, but I can't even do that. And that is when there's this weird scene where she gets behind him, behind Kay, and then he has Kay hug her, and then she's like hugging Kay, and then they're like hugging each other in the nude, apparently, and I loved the scene when she was explaining it and how she was like talking, but she wasn't. I loved it. The animation was amazing. I mean, it was good. I loved it. Everything. It was so good. And then, basically after that, they're leaving. Scar's coming. She woke up, and she goes to the thing that's been calling her. And it turns out that it was the princess's, Ewell's, sister. And basically it was stated that their mom had a very strong hate for her life, her dead husband. and she made a very strong wish on her deathbed when she was giving birth to twins, and it was die mortals, or die humans, or something like that. And what happened was, Yule accepted that blessing or gift that she gave her. Cecilia, on the other hand, the little baby that was frozen in time, didn't. That's why Yule has her powers to kill anybody she looks at, touches, or speaks to. And it was basically Scar's like, she rips through it, and then she grabs her, and she's like, this is my baby. And I don't know why, it was kind of weird, but I liked it. Because basically Yule's like, take her. Get her out of here. Because technically speaking, that's another living baby that was born during the time when fertility was like, no, that shit don't happen no more. It's kind of weird, and it's kind of breaking out of the story a little bit. But it was still amazing. And then they're going from the city. There's a scene with the princess and Kay, and they're wrapped up around each other, watching as I and her company leave. And, I mean, it was good. I mean, yeah, this was a quick review. I mean, it's mostly something I can't really explain. I can't really explain every detail of this anime because most of it just took me away. It was like I was drawn into the animation and the words, and it was just, it was amazing. I mean, it's hard to say exactly what you would feel when you're watching this, but it's just like wonder and wanderlust. Yeah, you just feel like wanderlust and anticipation, and you're just drawn into the story so much deeper. There were a couple moments when I got broken out when I was like, wait a minute, why the fuck is there another like little girl? And I mean, I thought she was special, but even with that, I'm really enjoying it. It was just an overall it was an amazing episode. It was. It was between amazing and epic. I'm going to give it a 9.3 out of 10. Because it was a little bit closer to epic, but it didn't really mind fuck the shit out of me to the level which episode 3 did. It wasn't as good as episode 3, in my opinion, but it was still way better in terms of story and how everything closed up. It wasn't as extreme and crazy and awesome with the action. If it had action in it, it would have been epic or greater than that, but it really wasn't. It was just dialogue and emotion. So this gets a 9.3 out of 10. It was better than amazing, but it wasn't quite epic. It was like amazing plus, if you wanted to put it like that. Please comment down below what you thought about this episode. Like the video if you like it. I know it's a short review, but I can't always make them super long. And if you disagree with me and you think that this was like the the best episode ever, or a horrible episode, go ahead and tell me. Goodbye.